Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys joining us for a little on the water video today, because we are going to show you guys how to fish culverts. Now, if you're not familiar with a culvert is like a pipe that runs into the lake, and they can be various sizes, but what I want to concentrate on, guys, is a little bit of the larger culverts. Now, these, a lot of times you'll see them underneath bridges or drain runoffs and that type of stuff, and they can be excellent places to catch bass at. So I'm going to show you what a culvert is here on the lake and describe how to fish it a little bit. Also, guys, quick reminder, we've got a February sale on my Solar Bat series, RB3 series sunglasses I have here. In the month of February, if you order them, you can get them at 25% off. And every $100 purchase, you get a $25 grab bag, mystery grab bag from Solar Bat. So I'll put the link in the description there. And also a big thank you to everybody out there that's been purchasing your tackle from Tackle Warehouse using my links in the description. That's really helping the channel out. So appreciate you guys using that. So anyway, I'm gonna show you a culvert. So here we go. Here's a prime example of a nice little culvert. Now this culvert here is positioned sort of in the back of a cove here. And you can see it's pretty much, it's pretty full. Now the water depth that you have on culverts is gonna vary. So a lot of this depends on how deep the water is, how you wanna approach it. Now, first of all, one of the things you have to realize about culverts is the structure around it. Now, anytime that you have a culvert, a lot of times you got water flowing out of this, which creates some current. It, puts a different type of, bait fishing around that area. They like to hang out around the opening there. Anytime you have current running back and forth, it provides cover for the fish, the adjacent shorelines there. So the entire area around the culvert can be productive now. First thing I like to do, guys, is I like to work up to it, and I just cast around the outside edges of it, like with a shaky head or a jig, something like that, and try to work out in front of it, maybe 5, 10, 15 feet of water, and then fish the adjacent banks here that you can see that are leading up to it. Now these banks, usually the best area is going to be like 10 or 15 feet down the bank, but I'll work those banks there with a jig, shaky head, maybe throw a crankbait around them before I actually get into the culvert. Now this particular culvert here, this one has got a little bit too much water in it, but one of my favorite techniques is to pitch a jig or a creature bait up inside of the culvert there. That's a really good way to catch them. They get up there and hide in those shade. As long as you got like a foot or two water, it can be really productive with that. Another thing to remember on these culverts, guys, is when you get a big rain or runoff, you're going to have a lot of water coming out of there, and it's almost like going to be like a little river of water coming out of there. And any time that you have water coming out of that culvert, it's going to collect fish all around the area here. They're just going to come into this area, look for opportunities to feed, look for things washing down that culvert, and it can be a really good hot spot when you got some water coming. The main thing, guys, is don't ever pass it up, man. As long as you got water temperatures that are over 50 degrees, they can be super highly productive all year long, anywhere between the spring to the fall, as long as you got that water about 50, where you have some fish up in some shallow water there. And a lot of it, as far as technique, it just depends on the water clarity. Usually, if the water has got some stain to it, like you've got maybe a foot or two of visibility, I prefer some type of shallow running crankbait, especially around the rocks around it, or a jig or something like that. Maybe a spinnerbait if the water's coming through there, spinnerbait or chatterbait. And if the water's a little bit cleaner, like you've got over 2.5 or 3 foot of visibility, that's when I like to finesse it a little bit more. The shaky head, Ned rig, something along those lines. Maybe even something like a fluke. I've caught them before, taking a fluke and just skipping that fluke up inside of the culvert there, and it can be pretty productive with that. But there's a chance you can catch them there about any time. I mean, it's a magnet for fish. It's an irregular piece of cover, something different, something unique. You got a combination of cover and current and water flow, which is always good. But if I could give you the best case scenario, guys, where you never want to pass it up, if you get one of those days where you've had a lot of rain coming into the lake over the day or two prior to when you're on the lake, always hit these culverts. If you see water coming out of those things, it's almost a guaranteed fish. I mean, never ever pass up a culvert when you see water flowing out of them, because it's just a great place to catch them. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys catch them some more, and we'll talk later. See you.